Felicitations, malefactors, and welcome back to the Lethal Company Gameplay Guide, the series where we go over every move, item, entity, and mechanic Lethal Company in order to give you tips and information you can apply during your next gameplay session. Continuing on from turrets, we have landmines. We'll go over some stats and basic information before discussing how it spawns and general strategies for avoiding them and using them to your advantage. Landmines are another map hazard that will explode under the right conditions. I'm the first one. Stepping on one will prime it, and stepping off will cause it to explode. Dropping items on landmines will not prime them, even though it does make the sound. If they don't explode, then you can just take the item off just fine, and if it does, well, then that's what you get, you fucking idiot. They'll deal 50 to 100 damage, i.e. death, which is caused by being too close to the landmine upon exploding. Unlike Easter eggs, landmine explosions do not give you momentum, but they can kill enemies, which we'll get to later. They can be disabled using the terminal, and players can be teleported off landmines, although they will still explode. They will not be triggered by entities, however, unlike turrets, they can kill them, which we'll get to later. Just like turrets, landmines spawn in these red circles, similar to items. Since this is randomized, you could find landmines in front or on top of entrances, behind doors, on stairs, behind corners, and even in unreachable places. Also like turrets, landmines have a minimum and maximum count per moon, and their own spawn curve per moon. But once again, this is completely randomized. However, landmines are seemingly most common on Artifice and Dine, and are least common on Rend. Garbage lids are usually pretty easy to avoid since, unlike the other traps, they will always make a sound every few seconds. Each landmine blinks basically in unison since they're all generated around the same time. This can make it quite hard here where a landmine is if there happens to be multiple. It's a good idea to quickly identify the landmine or landmines that you can hear in order to stay out of the way, but usually they'll just generate out of the way already. Safely detonating landmines is a very useful tactic as it can not only allow you to remove the threat, but also kill entities with it. In order to do this, we need to use something called momentum preservation. To summarize, as your character runs, you'll get faster, but by holding shift and not letting go, you can keep your momentum even if you're standing still, as long as you don't crouch or let go of shift. Using this, you can keep or build up momentum, allowing you to clear the larger gaps or just get a running start. By building up some speed or simply just running for a while before doing so, you can run right over landmines and take 0 damage. Now I want to make this clear, this was tested as host, not client. But even from my experience as client, it seems to work all the same, although you may take 50 damage from time to time instead of just 0. Which might kill you in some cases. So not only can we use this to destroy the landmines and help our teammates, we can use it to kill entities from brackens to butlers and their 8 health. Assholes. Butler asshole. Butthole. But a safer method of dealing with mines is throwing something over it. Take an egg or even a soccer ball and simply throw it over top of the landmine, not onto it, remember. It'll explode and we'll all be happy, and yes, this can kill entities as well. But what happens if you stepped on a landmine and you're just hanging out? Even with momentum preservation, it doesn't seem like you can run off of a landmine and live, even if you jump. You'll need to either be teleported or have the landmine disabled at the terminal. You'll know it's disabled when it plays this sound. It can also be bracken or enemy fodder, you know, self-sacrifice and all that. Oh, and while we're talking about brackens and even loot bugs, I'm pretty sure, if they're carrying a body over a landmine, then it'll most likely explode and they'll die. Wowzers, fucking trousers, that's a whole heaping pile of words. Let's make like a tree and condense it into bullet points. They deal 50 to 100 damage, stepping on it will prime it, and stepping off will make it explode. Dropping items on them does not prime it, although there is a sweet spot. They do not give momentum, they can be used to kill entities, they can be disabled at the terminal. Landmines spawn randomly, they're most common on Artifice and Dine, they're least common on Rend, they make a sound every few seconds. Dangerous spots are on entrances, behind doors, on stairs, and around tight corners. Throwing items over top of mines makes them explode. Bodies dragged over mines make them explode. Players can be teleported off landmines, but this will still make the mine explode. This has been the Lethal Company Gameplay Guide to the Landmines, and I really hope you come back for more. But in the meantime, you can check out the previous episode on turrets, or check out my other Lethal Company content. Or the non-Lethal Company content. It's still good. I don't care what you say. I'm naked right now. I record all my videos naked. It makes me feel better. And as sometimes, I love you. Now make like a tree and fuck off.